What is up, everybody? Welcome back. I'm sorry I look like a bum, but I got a subscriber request email about brake fluid. But before we get into that, in the top left corner of the channel banner, you'll see a tag that says check engine light. That is a t-shirt, and it says, "Yup, still there." That's for the channel. And if you wouldn't mind purchasing one of those, that would be greatly appreciated. All that money is going to go back into the channel so I can kind of revamp a whole bunch of stuff. Use promo code 0015 and you get 15% off. The brake fluid. The question was, do I need to flush my brake fluid? That's a really good question. It really depends. Yes, you do need to flush your fluid at some point. Brake fluid is hygroscopic, meaning it holds moisture and water, and it attracts it and attracts dirt. It's very dirty. When that happens, then you have a very spongy pedal. But this customer's concern or subscriber's concern was he took it to a mom and pop dealer shop. Mom and pop shop. I'm not going to name the name of the shop. They tried to sell him a brake fluid flush, and his brake fluid wasn't dirty at all. And this isn't the first time that they tried to sell him a brake fluid flush. And I told him, I said, send me some pictures of it. The brake fluid was very clean. The vehicle only has, I think, 16,000 miles on it or something like that. It does not need a brake fluid flush at 16,000 miles. That situation right there was them trying to sell him something because they're trying to make money. That's all that was. But my answer to him, later down the road, you will need a brake fluid flush. The purpose of the brake fluid is when you push the pedal, it goes through the lines and it holds pressure. And it's what's pushing the pad against the rotor. But it also keeps the when your pads get low, you'll notice that your brake fluid level drops, and then people just keep adding fluid to it, and that's not what you're supposed to do. So when do you need a brake fluid flush? I recommend every 5 years or 60,000 miles. Now, if you do a lot of severe driving, like you're an Uber driver or you're a taxi driver, police car, first responder, anything like that, it's going to be before the 5 years or 60,000 miles. Their brake fluid gets very dirty very quickly because they go through a lot of heat cycles. So, do you need a brake fluid flush? Yes, but not at 16,000 miles. 60,000 miles, yes. Before that, if it's severe driving, yes. 5 years, yes. Before that, if it's severe driving, okay? Or if you're a heavy braker and you go through brake pads like crazy, which you shouldn't, unless you're a first responder. So they were just trying to rip him a new a-hole and trying to sell him something that he didn't need, and he caught on to it. And, I hate it when shops do that stuff. I really can't stand it. Don't sell the man a $185 brake fluid flush. It takes you 5 minutes to do it. Don't need it at 16,000 miles. It's a new vehicle, basically. So he doesn't need it. But I was actually looking through the owner's manual of my truck, and I was looking on my app for the owner's manual and the service recommendations, and it's not stated in my manual, but it is stated on the app that it's every 60,000 miles or 5 years. So that's how brake fluid works. He didn't need it. He will need one later on down the road. But if you do a brake flush and you still get spongy pedal, there's other issues that you need to get checked out. So, with that being said, let's recap. 5 years, 60,000 miles, or before 60,000 miles, or before 5 years, if it is severe duty, like first responder, an Uber driver, a taxi, anything like that. You do deliveries and stuff like that. You will need a brake fluid flush earlier. It is hygroscopic. It attracts and holds moisture, and it holds dirt. Just because it's dirty doesn't mean it's bad. It means it's doing its job. That is what the number on there, .4, .3, it's actually the boiling point of the brake fluid. So I hope you guys learned something today. Don't go get a brake flush just because they said you need one. They use those stupid little testers. They said that the subscriber did say that they used the tester and they brought it to him. At 16,000 miles, it shouldn't have failed one of those little tester strips. You can manipulate those. And I bet what they did was they used that tester on a different car and they just leave it sitting on their toolbox. And then when somebody comes in like, hey, maybe I can take advantage of this person. They need a brake fluid flush. Their brake fluid is very dirty. Let me use this old test strip. I've seen mechanics do that. I've seen mechanics do that with air filters. I've actually seen a technician try to sell an air filter to a guy, and the guy declined it. Let me see my air filter. He took it out of the vehicle, went out back and rubbed it in the dirt, and came back inside and was like, here's your air filter. That shit doesn't fly with me. I don't do that. I don't believe in doing that. You guys brought your vehicle to get worked on. You should get the repair that you asked for. Yes, look it over for other concerns and report those concerns to you. Not try to sell you an air filter when you don't need it. Not try to sell you a brake flush at 16,000 miles using an old test strip from a vehicle previously because you want to make a 0.7 or a 1 hour, whatever it pays. Okay? So yes, you do need a brake fluid flush at a certain point. Okay? If you're having brake issues where it keeps going to the floor, your fluid looks fine, it's not real dirty, you need to go get that checked out because it could be some other issue, okay? I hope you guys enjoyed. Please share the video so other people may know. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.